Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. Tonight was the final Monday Night Raw before the Survivor Series show this Saturday. We got two new matches officially announced for Survivor Series. We know the advantage going to the babyfaces in the Women's War Games match. I'm torn on talking the Bayley stuff because I don't want to give spoilers. But it's like, we'll get into that at the end. And I'll put the spoiler thing up because we will talk spoilers because SmackDown this week has already been filmed. But regardless, anyways, we got stuff for that match. We got a lot of things built up. We also learned this morning, technically the first official, but really second match for Saturday night's main event. It will be Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens. We also already know that the first ever women's U.S. champion will be crowned on that show as well. And speaking of new women's belts, they announced a new women's IC title tonight, which was kind of weird in the way they rolled it out. They filmed a segment in front of the crowd before the show went live on the air, and then just went earlier tonight, we filmed this, and then just plugged it in. It was kind of weird. I don't know what to think about it, but hey, each their own, whatever they want to do. We'll see how it plays out and how it's perceived, but it seems like people are perceptive or receptive to the fact of the new Women's IC Championship. But we've also got Luke over here with us and talk Monday Night Raw. Luke, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm on Thanksgiving break now, so I get a week off school. But
we could tell you're not at school because you're in the different environment.
Yeah, I'm back home right now.
Yeah,
I'm back home right now. I mean, get a week off, but then next week, going straight to finals. So that's gonna be exciting. But as far as Raw does go, I thought Raw felt quick.
Oh yeah,
it felt very quick. Like I was looking at my phone after the Karrion Kross segment. I was like, Jesus, already it's 20 minutes left of Raw.
Yeah, they said we're coming up on this main event with Bianca Belair and Nia, and I'm like, really? I looked down, I'm like, oh, there's 20 minutes left. I thought literally it was the top of the hour. I thought we were halfway through the show. That's how fast the show flew by for me. So yeah, crazy, interesting. But overall, I thought it was a really good episode of Monday Night Raw. A good go-home show because, let me fix my chair here. I got to commend WWE. They're building two shows at once right now, Survivor Series and Saturday night's main event. But they didn't get in the trope of trying to do too much for both at the same time. They focused on Survivor Series because that's this weekend. And then starting next week, of course, they'll focus on the Saturday night's main event show. But we've seen in the past when WWE or even AEW has two shows coming up in succession quickly, it kind of gets muddled with when they try to announce things for one show and the other show, and it's all discombobulated. But I thought WWE did a good job as far as the pacing of tonight's show, the announcements for Survivor Series, building up the interest for Survivor Series, learning things for SmackDown. We know that there's going to be some sort of a sit-down segment with Roman Reigns and CM Punk, so that'll be interesting. We didn't get your thoughts on that. What did you think of? I got a couple questions for you on this. First question, what did you think of Paul Heyman returning on SmackDown and announcing that he's got Punk as the fifth member?
I thought it was cool that Paul Heyman returned. At first, when I saw his suit, I was like, is he now going to be aligned with Solo?
That was my next question to you.
Like that, unless they're slowly building, maybe Paul turning on Roman, which there's already a story built in that. I don't know if you know, there's already a story. Then Paul could literally just be like, hey, when after you lost your world title, you left me to deal with Solo. Anytime I tried calling you, you never answered.
Right. But my whole thing, it's everyone. So I posted, hey, look what Paul Heyman's wearing. Are we to look into this? He's dressed kind of like Solo, this and that and so forth. And I got all these hate tweets. Oh, you're dumb. He's not going to go with Solo. It doesn't matter what he's wearing. I'm like, what? First off, it's Paul Heyman not wearing a normal three-piece suit. Where's the tie? Where's the button up? And then secondly, it's not only that he's wearing something different. He's literally wearing the same thing as Solo has worn a couple weeks ago, months ago, multiple times in the past. Basically the same thing that Solo was wearing on Friday, but Solo just had different colors. So Heyman was wearing the black slacks, the black sports coat, the red T-shirt underneath, and the red little, what do they call it? Handkerchief? There's a special name
the
for
handkerchief.
it. There's a special name for it. I know this square, the pocket square. Solo was in all black this week, but Solo has worn this exact same outfit before. The only thing Heyman was missing was the chain, the gold chain. But Solo was worn the black pants, the black jacket, the red shirt, the red square. So it's like, oh my God, is this something to look into? Is Heyman and essentially CM Punk in turn going to turn on the bloodline? Maybe not help Solo, but in turn help. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued on where this goes with the whole Roman Reigns and CM Punk aspect of it. And yeah, Heyman, the way Heyman was like looking at Roman on Friday, like, I did the right thing, or so you think, and this and that. And Roman's all confused. I loved it. I thought it was great storytelling. And it's not like, and I hate to do this, AEW, where they do something weeks and weeks and weeks in advance and don't give any hints to where it's going. And then it just drags out and drags out. This John Moxley stuff. It's just dragging out and dragging out and dragging out. At least they're doing this. Hey, Paul Heyman's back and he brought Punk with him. They did it 2 weeks before we're supposedly getting the payoff. So, just saying. Just saying.
And as far as the CM Punk returning, I thought that was actually pretty cool. I did not expect CM Punk to be part of War Games, which...
Me neither.
Which, I mean, I guess is part of like slow term storyline booking, I guess. I think Punk's first promo when he returned, he said, like Roman, like I acknowledge you, I respect you, like as champion.
Right.
And like 1 year later, he's teamed with Roman in War Games.
I'm all for it. I'm just gonna say that this match is gonna be awesome. I mean, think about the guys in this match: Roman, Sammy, the Usos, the Tongans, Solo, Jacob Fatu, Bronson. Tell me why Bronson Reed fits in like almost too perfectly with the new bloodline. Like
he was already doing
just like his look, his look, his vibe, his everything. I don't want him to be like a mainstay in this group, especially since he's not family technically anyways. But I mean, you could say that for the Tongans. They're not really family. Anyways. It's just weird how perfect he fits with them. Like tonight when they did that Solo video and he's standing in the back with the sunglasses and he's just me mugging kind of. I'm just like, it's scary how perfect he fits with these guys. And like, I don't want to see this either, but think about this. Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed as a tag team.
Oh.
I don't
talk
want
about some big meaty men slapping meat.
Right. I kind of want to see it because I want to see them both do their own thing as singles guys. Bronson Reed's been killing it. We know Jacob will eventually kill it when he gets to break off and do his thing. So it's like maybe they come together now. And I don't know. I don't think they're going to be a group. I don't think Bronson Reed's going to be with them past War Games. At least I don't. There's even a chance. Hey, there's even a chance Bronson Reed's coming down to the ring for War Games and doesn't even make it in the cage because Seth attacks him. Maybe Seth, like, they call Bronson down because it's his turn. All of a sudden, Seth runs down the aisle, slams him into the cage on the outside. They start fighting, and then they're just gone in the crowd or something. That's a real possibility. Seth gets involved and takes out Bronson Reed before he even enters.
Yeah, I actually haven't even thought about that.
Yeah. I don't think, and I could be completely wrong on this, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is not me reporting anything. This is me just thinking from what we've seen on TV. I don't think they're playing so heavily into we want Seth involved, but he doesn't want to be on Roman's team for him to not somehow be involved. You know what I mean? I could be wrong on that, but it's just like they asked him twice. They've brought his name up multiple times. I don't know. And then there's the other question of does The Rock come out? We know that The Rock is busy right now filming Moana 2. Could they give him a day off? Sure. Not Moana 2. Moana 1 live action. Could they give him a day off? Sure. They can give him a day off, go out there, do the thing, fly back to Hawaii to film the movie. But it's like, do we need The Rock, though? Do we need The Rock right now at Survivor Series to build to whatever? I don't think we do. I think keep The Rock off TV until the first Raw on Netflix.
Give me Rock versus Cody at Royal Rumble.
Ooh, Royal Rumble? That's interesting. I didn't think about that one. I was always thinking Rock, Cody, Mania.
Think about it. Rock Rock's on the first episode of Raw on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
He calls out Cody, challenges Cody at Rumble, and then right when Rock's about to win, Roman screws The Rock. And then when Roman's in the Rumble, maybe like The Rock or like the OG Bloodline screws Roman. Then maybe at Chamber we get Solo versus Rock. Like Roman wins and then Rock comes out and challenges Roman at Mania.
That'd be interesting.
Then finally we get Rock versus Roman at Mania that we were supposed to get last year, but then we got the We Want Cody.
So here's my other question. We know Cody had stated not too long ago that they are working on something for the main event of WrestleMania 41 that no one is talking about. At least they hadn't been talking about when he said this on the McAfee show a couple of weeks back. Maybe about a month or so back now. Before Bad Blood.
I got it.
Wednesday before Bad Blood. What if
I thought about something.
Go for it.
I know you're probably thinking the same thing I am though, but I'm just gonna say it. A triple threat: Cody, Rock, and Roman for the Undisputed Championship.
Everyone was talking about that already. What if the thing that he thinks that nobody can think of, that nobody's going to talk about, is Paul Heyman bringing CM Punk back, CM Punk taking out Roman Reigns on his journey to Cody at WrestleMania for the title. And it's Punk and Cody in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas.
So you don't think we're going to get Punk versus Seth like we were supposed to get?
You could do that at Rumble. You could do that at Elimination Chamber. You can do that wherever.
Or I saw like a fan-made poster. What if we got Paul Heyman like turning on like Roman for Punk, and then we got Punk versus Roman at like SummerSlam or something?
Ooh, that's too far out though. That's way too far out because SummerSlam is August. I think that's too far out. I think if you're going to do Punk and Roman, it's got to be something sooner. I mean,
no, but like let's say this though, like Punk kicks out like Roman, who's journey to Cody. Punk beats Cody for the belt, and then like let's say they do like a Punk versus Roman rivalry, like and then Paul like screws Roman, and we get like Punk versus Roman at SummerSlam for the Undisputed Championship with Paul Heyman and Punk's side.
That's a very long build. I mean, they did it with Drew and Punk.
Triple H likes doing those like long storyline builds.
Yes. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'll say that. I'd give it a good chance.
But like, you got to think of something for Roman to do after Mania, because like once the Bloodline stuff is over, now it's like, all right, what do you do next?
Well, I mean, we don't even know what his plan is for next year's Mania. According to, I think it was Cody again. Maybe it was Triple H. One of them said in an interview, they got a lot of things on the books right now that they want to do for WrestleMania. A lot of plans that they want to lock in. Because, I mean, like, last year, they had a lot of WrestleMania by this time last year already locked in. Like, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. This is what we're building to. So, because I think what I had heard was Cody knew he was winning the Rumble and going to face for the title against Roman like October, November. And then, of course, things changed. Hey, you're winning the Rumble still, but you're not getting the match. And then eventually got the match. And it was a whole thing, as we saw over the last year. But Cody knew like 2 months in advance, if not more, that he was winning the Rumble and was going to go on to Mania and this and that and so forth. So I'm well aware. I'm not well aware, but I'm well under the understanding that they've already got most of this WrestleMania probably planned out as much as they can, as far as like, hey, here's where we want to go. Let's hope we can get there. Because I've even heard Charlotte's name was already penciled down for something. She should be back sometime soon.
I don't know. I kind of want to see Rock versus Cody at Rumble, though, mainly because there's a good chance I could be going to Rumble, and I kind of want to see The Rock in person.
Oh, no, I think Rock shows up at Royal Rumble. Heck, I think there's a chance Rock is in the Royal Rumble. That's just me fantasy booking. Number 30?
I don't know. No.
Roman comes out at 20. No, hear me out. Roman comes out at 29. Rock comes out at 30 and throws out Roman.
Do you really think Rock wants to be in the Rumble with a bunch of random people? Why
do you think I said he comes out number 30? So he's in there last, and there's maybe like him, Seth, and Roman in there or something.
But you really gotta like scoop out like everybody though, because normally a lot of times at number 30, there's still like a good chunk of guys in there.
Right, but if you book it right, you get it down to like Seth and Roman final two. You forget that there's another person because who is in there? Seth and Roman. And then all of a sudden, if you smell, holy shit, there's another guy. What the Rock is cooking. Forgot about number 30. I've done that before. 29 people have entered. I'm like, all right, we're good. And then Rey Mysterio came out number 30. I forget what year that was. Maybe that was 2014 or something like that.
No, Rey Mysterio, that was...
It was one where everyone thought it was going to be Brian.
What
year was that?
2018?
Yeah. You're right.
That was 2018. Rey Mysterio coming out, that was like a huge surprise.
Yep. Because he was still doing the Lucha Underground stuff. He was still on their TV. No, and then he had just done All In as well, not too many months before that.
No, he was...
Oh, no, he hadn't done All In. He hadn't done All In yet. That's right. I got my dates mixed up.
WWE wanted to sign him, but he didn't want to sign anything yet until he finished All In. He wanted to do All In first. And then WWE like immediately signed him right after All In.
I got my years mixed up. But he was still doing Lucha Underground stuff at that time too, which is crazy that they got to use him. But
Lucha Underground, I mean, I think he was done with Lucha Underground, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think, let me see.
He had to be done with Lucha Underground because he wasn't on season 4. And I think season 4 was like during season 4, I'm pretty sure.
I can tell you right
he
now.
never did season 4 of Lucha Underground.
Right.
The only seasons he did was 2 and 3, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, when did Lucha Underground end? Because I was thinking like that last season he was almost still airing. I'm looking it up. Let me see. When was Ray's last Lucha Underground match? Let's see.
Lucha Underground ended November 7th of 2018.
His last Lucha Underground appearance was... Okay. Dang. Where the heck is it? I'm in 2017 here, and I don't see it. There's AAA. Okay. Wow. I thought he was on this way longer than he was. His last Lucha Underground match was June 12th, 2016. 2 years. Year and a half before his Rumble appearance. Dang, for some reason, maybe I was just watching reruns or something. Because I remember him being on there way longer. But yeah, we could fantasy book about this for days. Maybe we should do like a separate podcast. Just like, hey, where do we think they go leading up to WrestleMania or Royal Rumble to WrestleMania? That'd be a fun one to do.
This should be like a clip.
We'd probably
get our own like episode.
Right. We'd probably get a lot wrong. But hey, it's just fun to try and guess.
Well, after Mania, though, that's like the one tricky thing to like predict because after Mania, anything could happen.
Right. I think it's easier to do a video like this. Like go to Rumble, see who wins the Rumble, kind of gauge things from inside both Royal Rumble matches. Then it might be easier to go, okay, this is where I think they're going for WrestleMania. So maybe after the Royal Rumble, we give the people here a special episode, an extra podcast, not just a review of, hey, we're on the road to WrestleMania, and here's where we think they're going. I mean, that's not going to be till February, but because you got to remember, this year's or next year's Royal Rumble is the first non-January Rumble. It's February 1st. It's usually the last weekend of January. But just the way things lined up, February 1st. Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium.
No, I really want to go to this Rumble because the first one I went to sucked.
Which one?
That was the one Brock Lesnar entered at number 30 and won.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That one sucked. That was the one where the WrestleMania sign caught on fire and I was sitting behind the sign.
That's funny.
Yeah, like during that match, I was like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom and get some merchandise.
Oh, yeah. A Royal Rumble match, there's a lot of downtime in a Royal Rumble match.
No, like, it wasn't even during the match. It was during the Becky Lynch versus Doudrop match.
Oh, that was a nothing happening match.
Yeah, everybody did not care. You can tell, like, everybody was just leaving, going to the bathroom. And
that was the exact same when I was at WrestleMania 31. Everybody was in their seats for 95% of that show. The Bellas came out to fight AJ and Paige. And everybody got up and went to get food in the bathroom. Everybody. Like, no offense, but it's like, that match, no one had any expectations for it. And it wasn't even that great of a match anyways. It was okay. It was good because of who was in it. Probably the 4 best female wrestlers at the time in the company.
I mean, it was also AJ's last match in WWE.
Yep. After coming off just a year prior, a historic reign with that butterfly belt.
What if AJ like came back and they made like an AJ Lee legacy belt with the butterfly logo?
Don't get my hopes up. That's my favorite female wrestler of all time. I would love to see it.
She was my childhood crush growing up.
Oh, Tony Khan announcing matches in the middle of the night again. He announced that Darby Allin will take on Brody King this Wednesday on Dynamite in their first match on the Continental Classic. He also announced that, and they've been doing this a couple of times recently, Dynamite will air live on both coasts at the same time. So on the East Coast and the West Coast at the same time. That's going to hurt the rating, I think. Freaking, well, maybe not because it's Thanksgiving. If it was it's the night before Thanksgiving. People still work that day. This might hurt it. California, the West Coast, people are still driving home at 5 o'clock from work. That might actually hurt the rating. You know what they're going to say? You know what they're going to use the excuse of? Not the coast to coast thing. They're going to use the excuse of, it was the night before Thanksgiving. People are traveling. So.
Really?
I mean, that's what they usually do. Like last year when it was down, that was the excuse they used. Well, it was a travel day for people, so. I don't know. Also, we ever get that Trish Stratus reveal? Trish Stratus was teasing something for today. Oh, we did. She's going to be on a magazine cover, I guess. Because she teased over the week. Yep, she's on the cover of Inside Fitness. She was teasing a photo shoot, and she said, all it said was Monday. She's on the next edition, the cover of the next Inside Fitness. Okay, cool. I thought she was going to announce she's coming back to WWE for something. Nope. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember to hit the join button and become a channel member. Even if you can only subscribe at the $1 tier, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. Either that's on youtube.com/PW Pro Wrestling Unlimited or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And then also remember, get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. You can do so by donating a super chat or a super sticker in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Maybe you're getting in on that Black Friday sale for the Epic Game Store. Gonna go get Stalker 2, Lego Horizon Adventures, which is actually way funner than you would think. I've played about an hour of it. And we also have the free games right now, which is Beholder, or getting into that Fortnite. Fortnite is wrapping up the end of the remix, I guess you would call it Remix 2. Well, that's about to end. Chapter 6, Season 1 is coming this Sunday, I want to say. It's Japanese themed, and oh boy, am I excited. If the leaks are true, we're getting a goddamn Baymax skin. That's my new main. If we get Baymax in Fortnite, like how I use the Ninja Turtles a lot, I'm going to be using Baymax a lot. So I'm so excited. Use our code for all Fortnite stuff. PWUNLIMITED. We're also brought to you by Aura Frames. We'll tell you about them a little bit later. So with all of that, give me 1 second. Elite, you don't listen to Dave's podcast. I can tell you. Elite's in the live chat says Dave Meltzer and his 101 excuses for AEW. That tells me right there that he never listens to a Dave Meltzer podcast, because Dave has been almost more critical of AEW than anybody, as far as like the main reporters and journalists in the space. Dave said last week's go home show for the pay-per-view was not a good show, really. Dave literally said before Full Gear went on the air, I don't see this as a high pay-per-view buy show. Like, he didn't think a lot of people were buying the Full Gear pay-per-view. He talks extensively on how Tony Khan does not promote the shows well, how Tony Khan does not do great at what's the word I'm looking for? Localized promotions. Rips him a lot about randomly announcing matches at random times, especially late at night, like he just did tonight on Twitter. He's like, not all of your fan base is watching on Twitter or sitting on Twitter 24 hours a day at night. He's like, you got to think about when the people might be online, where you can announce things. A lot of times Dave's like, why did they announce that on Twitter on a Friday when they could have just announced it on a Wednesday Dynamite? So for you to say that Dave and his excuses for AEW, go listen to any Wrestling Observer Radio. He is so critical of AEW. And then he goes, and I've told Tony this, and he just doesn't care. Because we know Dave and Tony Khan talk. But he's said it before. I've told Tony all of this, and he doesn't do anything. He still does the same things. So, yeah, no. To say that Dave's got all the excuses tells me right there, bada bing, bada boom, you don't listen. But with all of that, as far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, Joe Tessitore announces that we're at a sold-out Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Bianca Belair, Naomi, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Ludwig Kaiser, Braun Breaker, and the War Raiders, and Judgment Day are all shown arriving at the building. Tessitore said that other War Games competitors are going to be banned from the main event tonight. They cannot be at ringside, as Bianca Belair and Nia Jax will fight for the War Games advantage. They then let us know, hey, just remember, War Games starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific this Saturday. So it is an earlier start time yet again. Then Gunther comes out. I don't know if I like what they're doing with Gunther. What are your thoughts? Like, before we get into the segment, which I thought was kind of weird, what are your thoughts on this Gunther's losing his confidence storyline?
I don't think I like it. I don't know if I like it.
Because here's my thing. It's like, now I know where the excuses are going to come from. So let me get my gripe out first. He's already beaten Damian Priest for the title. Why would he feel like I can't beat him again? Now, I know what everyone's going to say. Oh, didn't Finn interfere and screw Priest? Okay, but Gunther still dominated him throughout that match. Gunther still was the better guy in that match throughout. And now all of a sudden Gunther's worried about Damian Priest just because he lost a random match that meant nothing to Cody. Tell me if that Crown Jewel Championship match meant anything. Have they mentioned it more than once since? As far as like, oh, you're the Crown Jewel Champion. No, all it's been is, hey, you lost to Cody. You know what's even worse? Liv beat Nia, and now they're just buddy-buddy teammates for War Games. When going into Crown Jewel, they were hating on each other. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah,
Don't get me started on that world greatest Royal Rumble bullshit. Braun still got the green belt with the palm trees on it.
You know, I thought would have been absolutely hilarious during that time.
If he actually carried that belt around.
No, I'm thinking something different. So, like,
okay.
whenever WWE did the greatest Royal Rumble, the greatest Battle Royal, do you know what one match that I was kind of hoping for that would have been absolutely hilarious?
A match with Titus O'Neil and Hornswoggle under the ring.
No, we're thinking two different things.
I'm thinking
a
Titus sliding under the damn ring.
No, do you know, I kind of thought would have been absolutely hilarious match that they could have had. The greatest elimination chamber, 20 pods.
How the fuck you do that? Stacking pods?
Yes.
I don't know if you can get 20 pods in there. Well,
Or add 6, make it 12.
hold on. Let me do some math here. So if you got what was the 4 pods, you could have maybe, I'm trying to think what would fit and still give them room to move around.
Or what you could
I think you can add 8 pods. I think 8 would fit fine. Or you make that, well, you don't even have to because they've made it even taller now. You could stack pods and you still do 8, 2, 1 on top of another.
Yes, the greatest elimination chamber.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, Jackie Redmond.
Like, think about it. Like,
go for it.
Like, okay, where did the whole freaking greatest Royal Rumble, greatest Battle Royal ever even come from? Was that sounds like a huge Vince thing? And
Well, yes.
Basically meant nothing.
The Saudis said that they wanted something for their first show that had never been done before. And then I guess this is all hearsay and like different stories and rumors that have come out. Like Prince or whatever said he liked the Royal Rumble, but he wanted to do something bigger. So Vince is like, I'll give you the greatest Royal Rumble. Most people in a Royal Rumble ever. We've done 40 before, so let's do 50. And they went from there, basically. And then apparently they were asking for like Yokozuna to show up.
They want Yokozuna and Ultimate Warrior at that show.
Both men no longer with us. Rest in peace, Warrior and old Rodney.
Yoko, I know he's been deceased for a while.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know how they didn't know that one.
I have no
His name was
clue.
Warrior.
Warrior died in 2015, right after WrestleMania 31.
It was 2014, right after
30. I get those mixed up. It was WrestleMania 30.
It was right after. It was literally right after he got inducted.
It was literally like the Monday night after the pay-per-view, or the Tuesday morning. I can't remember exactly. But it was like he was on that Raw that Monday night, and then next morning we got the news Ultimate Warrior died. Also, Yoko died in 2000.
Did they ever say the cause of death for Warrior?
I want to say heart attack. I can look it up. Ultimate Warrior cause of death. Heart attack. That's what I thought.
Like, did he knew he was like dying? Is that why he was on Raw?
Well, no. He had just gone into the Hall of Fame. He was on good terms with Vince again, and they wanted to use him more within the company. That was the whole thing. The plan was to see Ultimate Warrior not on TV every week, maybe not even multiple times a month, but for him to come back and do things with the company almost a little regular, but not like super regular, if that makes sense. But
why was he not on good terms with Vince?
Oh, him and Vince hated each other for a long time.
Didn't Vince like criticize him for not having a lot of like heart?
Oh, if you've never seen the DVD, you need to go watch the DVD, the Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. They ripped the shit out of this man in that DVD. Because Vince said Vince basically was always like, oh yeah, he phoned it in. He had the body, but he didn't have the heart. He didn't have the desire. We pushed him because of his looks. Well, Vince has said before, maybe we shouldn't have.
I just remember in the Vince documentary that people were saying that Ultimate Warrior didn't really have enough like heart though for the business as Hogan did.
No, basically he was there for. It's like the thing that people have criticized Goldberg for, but Goldberg was a little more adaptive to the business. It was like he was just there for the paycheck.
Yeah, people were saying how like Warrior had the gimmick and the fans loved him like just as much as Hogan did.
Oh, trust me, if Warrior put more into it, he could have been bigger than Hogan. But he just didn't try. At least says Vince did him dirty. He did himself dirty. Vince didn't do him dirty. He did himself dirty, not showing up to work and just all. Yeah, it's a whole. We can go into a whole thing about Ultimate Warrior and why him and Vince didn't get along, why he was fired the second time. I mean, he came back and did that. And Triple H had a job to him at a WrestleMania. So, yeah. It was WrestleMania 12, I want to say it was. Oh, I think it was WrestleMania 12. I'm thinking correctly. If you remember that match, Freaking Ultimate Warrior no sells a pedigree. Like, Jesus Christ, guy. Anyways, Gunther comes out. This was okay. Not if I was to say what was the lowest point of the show, it might have been this opening segment, if I'm gonna be honest. This is the thing I liked the least. Jackie Redmond interviews Gunther. Redmond aired a replay of Gunther's failed blindside attack on Damian Priest last week. Redmond asked if he feels like, we're seeing a different side of him as he lost his confidence since losing to Cody. She reiterated the points all made by Damian Priest. So Gunther struggled to find his words. Didn't say a word. Priest came out. This is, again, very weird. They didn't let Gunther talk, even though he's one of their better talkers. Got one of their best promo guys. So it's like weird. So Priest comes down to the ring. He's like, hey, by all means, don't let me interrupt. I'm just going to interrupt anyways, though. And Jackie Redmond goes to leave, and he goes, hold on, Miss Jackie. Before you leave, can you give Gunther that microphone so he can speak to me? She hands him the microphone, and Priest wanted to see if Gunther had grown a pair since last week. Priest figured out that Gunther wanted us to believe he was the Gunther of old. The Gunther that was dominant back in the day. They both knew that wasn't true. His killer vibe, his killer instinct, it was all gone. Gunther used to say, whatever he wanted to do, he was going to do. But now, that ain't the case. He wouldn't even dare make a move on Priest tonight. Gunther had accomplished a lot in his career, but Priest knew that all the insecurities he's got are finally becoming a problem. And Priest is that next problem. Priest wondered what would happen if the ring general were to lose to some random guy off the streets. Gunther still struggled to get words in. Priest was like, you gonna say anything? And Gunther's just like, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing to Gunther? We're ruining Gunther. Gunther then they start fighting. He hammers away. Gunther hammers away at Priest. They start fighting on the outside. Clears off the announce table. Priest gets the better of him, shoves him into the post, picks him up for the Razor's Edge, and Gunther gets, and I swear to God, this look on his face. And he just goes through the damn announce table. Priest poses with the belt and then just chucks it down to Gunther. Are you kidding me? I know I shouldn't say this because it isn't true, but is Vince booking this bullshit?
Do you remember that tweet that WrestleVotes made when Vince, like shortly after Vince was gone, about Gunther?
Which one? The WrestleVotes tweeted a bunch.
So when Vince was gone, like once Vince left WWE because of the first allegations and stuff, WrestleVotes made a tweet that said Vince had some sour taste of about Gunther, and he was getting ready to bury him.
Oh no,
almost.
Vince did not like Gunther. Vince saw nothing in Gunther. They did that Survivor Series match with the NXT guys and whatnot. And Vince is like, this is the guy you want me to push? No, Vince saw nothing in Gunther, which boggles my fucking mind.
Well, I'm pretty sure he liked him for a little bit.
That's not what I heard.
That's why they put the IC title on him. Then they
Triple
did
H
that whole
was pushing for it. If it was just straight up to Vince, I don't think Gunther would have had any success on the main roster. It would have been another Keith Lee.
Bearcat Gunther.
Oh Lord! Don't even get me started with Vince. Vince would have made him a Nazi. Vince would have made him and Kaiser. Stark. Vince would have made him and Kaiser Nazis on the main roster, and Giovanni Vinci too. But anyways, yeah, no, it would have been bad, really bad. I'm shocked that it didn't happen. That Vince did put the IC title on him, and all I ever heard was Triple H was pushing hard for him. Hard. But yeah, this whole story they're doing, Gunther's lost his edge. Gunther's lost his confidence. It's not the same Gunther anymore because he lost to Cody. It's just not doing it for me. And like I said, this was the one thing on the show that I really didn't like. This is the thing that I thought was the low point. right at the get-go. So, I mean, if I thought the opening segment was the low point, you only go up from here. Only go up from here. And we did with this hell of a tag team match, hell of a tornado tag. The Creeds versus the LWO. This was, as Sheamus would say, a banger after banger after banger. And do you know why this match was such a banger?
Why?
Because fucking Julius Creed is amazing.
Have you seen their like workout videos on social media with Ivy Nile?
Yeah.
These three are just superhuman athletes.
You know how they used to say back in the day? You could still say it now, but they used to say back in the day, I don't know, 2005, 6, 7. You got a guy in this company that's probably the best athlete we've ever seen, but he can't get pushed that hard. We'll push him every so often, and then they stop the push. Shelton Benjamin. Julius Creed's the new fucking Shelton Benjamin. Tell you what. He can go out there and do anything and everything, and he's more athletic than anybody on this dang roster. I'm going to say it right now. Julius Creed's their new Shelton Benjamin. He's prime Shelton.
I saw a tweet that Fightful made about Shelton today, about the Continental Classic.
Shelton's going to kill it in that Continental Classic. He's going to really get to show what he can do in there. I wish the Continental Classic was bigger and longer, but hey, teach their own.
Sean Rossap tweeted that AEW had a missed opportunity by not putting Shelton in the Gold League. They instead put him in the Blue one.
Hold on, I got them both written down right here. Who's the Gold League? Oh, yeah, because Ospreay and Ricochet are in the Gold League. I would have switched. So if someone says put Benjamin in the Gold League, then who would you switch? Claudio? No, Brody. Juice. Switch him for Juice. Because Blue League is Okada, Fletcher, Garcia, Mortos, Briscoe, and Benjamin. Gold League is Ospreay, Juice Robinson, Brody King, Ricochet, Claudio, and Darby.
I have no clue who's going to win this Continental Classic.
My prediction I said today, and I know I'm probably wrong, I said the finals are Okada and Ricochet, with Ricochet winning and getting that Continental title. I'm probably wrong, and it'll probably go to Darby, maybe, because they're trying to push Darby as the next big thing to beat Moxley, but I think Darby gets screwed out of the tournament somehow.
Nah, Darby has to get screwed
because of the Death Riders. So my prediction is the finals come down to Okada and Ricochet. Ricochet wins it. Finally push Ricochet, because as of right now, and I know that's not an AEW podcast, I said it on my Full Gear review. As of right now, Ricochet is literally in the same spot in AEW that he was in WWE. No joke. Like, that's for reals if you look at it. He's literally in the same spot he was when he left WWE. I'm going to fight for that secondary belt. I'm going to be, here's the main eventers. I'm at the top of this next list, but I'm never going to win. I'm going to have great matches. What the hell? It's the same thing he's doing in AEW now. Anyways.
It really is. Like we need you to face this guy. You're not going to win it, but we need you to put on a good match.
Yep.
And he said the reason why I left WWE because they only saw me as just a guy that would put on a good match, but not gonna win.
But the difference is he can have different style of matches in AEW. He can do what he wants more often in his matches in AEW. Granted, with Triple H in charge, I think he probably had a little more freedom than he used to, but still, I don't know. But speaking of great matches, Creeds versus Ray and Dragon Lee was awesome. LWO was on offense early, but when Dragon Lee went for a double foot stomp off the ropes onto Brutus, Julius leapt to the top rope and hit a big ass superplex. Moments later, Ray went for a 619, but Julius clobbered him with a clothesline. After a break, Julius hit Ray with a 450, one of the smoothest 450s you're ever going to see. Man, this man is great. Dragon Lee, though, broke up the cover and hit a tornado DDT. Brutus then broke up that cover. Creeds then set up Dragon Lee for a superplex, but Ray tripped them by hitting Julius with a 619. Lee then followed this up with a double foot stomp on both guys. Ray hit Brutus with his diving splash, but Julius broke up Lee's dive and drove him into the side of the ring. Ray set up Julius for a 619, but Brutus got in the way. Ray tossed Brutus towards the referee, and Brutus accidentally, on purpose, kinda, whatever you want to say, distracted the ref. While the ref was distracted, Gable would appear on the apron and twisted Ray's mask around so he couldn't see. Julius then put Ray in a schoolboy and pinned him to pick up the victory. Yeah, this match was awesome. Even with the interference, it all played in. It shows you, America made their heels. They're going to cheat. They're going to do what they got to do. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm a little tired of all the schoolboy finishes, all the roll-ups in like every company right now. There's too many of, flash pin, we caught him. Not enough decisive, I knocked your ass out, pinned you in the middle, 1, 2, 3. Other than that, this match ruled.
Oh yeah, this was a pretty good match.
So, they then aired the return of Paul Heyman and CM Punk on SmackDown and focused on how many views that got on social media. Apparently, and then, I'm going to ask you a question to see if you know this. They said that the Punk segment overall on social media, I don't know if they just talking about X or X and Threads and Facebook and Twitter and everything, 72 million views. I have a theory on why they had to put that number out. Do you know what that theory might be? Why they had to say 72 million? Because everybody all weekend since last Wednesday's Dynamite has been touting how on Twitter alone, the Renee Paquette interview with Big AJ and Big Justice did 10.8 million views on Twitter alone. But WWE's got to come out here and go, well, we got Punk on SmackDown, and that did 72 million views on social media. I bet you everything I got that's why they put that number out there like that. Oh, everyone wants to talk about their 10 million views? Punk did 72 million views. It's always going to be the one-upsmanship. Who can look better, and you're going to tout looking better. It gets annoying at times, but I mean, it's what we're doing and what we're got to get used to and accustomed to. At least it's different because AEW would have just shoved it down your throat going, they only did this, but we did. Like, they would have just said it. At least WWE just coyly was like, and on social media, this video got 72 million views. So, yeah. They also tagged us or told us that Cody Rhodes will be on Jimmy Fallon on the 28th. And Judgment Day are in the back. Liv Morgan seemed to worried about War Games, and Finn was trying to rally the troops, I guess you would say. He's like, hey, we're going to be a family. We got to be together. We got to stand in unison. And R-Truth shows up and goes, I agree with Finn. You gotta watch out for that Butch. Finn's like, what are you doing here, Truth? Balor told him, get out of here. Truth's like, what? He said Thanksgiving. She says, I get it written down. I like half heard it. He said something about Thanksgiving and all being together on the holidays. So yeah. Truth was upset and said Thanksgiving was off, basically. Like, oh, we're not friends? Don't come to Thanksgiving or something like that. Balor was kind of upset here, but he still tried to rally the troops. He told Liv Morgan, you got a good team built around you. You guys have the advantage with Jade out. It's now 4-on-5 for War Games. Think about it like that. And he's like, but, Dom, you and Carlito didn't get the job done last week, but it's okay. He wasn't happy with Dom, but he's like, hey, we're going to move past it. He said, we're good. We're a team. We play together. We work well together. Judgment Day, he literally says, Judgment Day doesn't have a leader, right? And they're like, right. But when you listen to me, Finn Balor, we get things done. So I'm like, oh, Finn thinks he's the leader. They don't have a leader, but Finn thinks he's the leader.
Basically, what Finn's trying to say is like, Finn's basically trying to say like, I'm the leader, but like, I'm not the leader, but you should still take orders from me.
Basically.
Almost.
Basically, it's like, hey, I'm not talking down to anybody. We're equals, but I'm just a little bit better than all of you. Basically what he's saying.
Basically, yeah.
We have a couple bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, love the look of the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. And did you hear AEW Grand Slam Australia being moved to another venue due to low ticket sales? And my pick for the first WWE Women's IC champ is Kairi Sane because time she tells her story. And then another one, he says, we fought Dave We fought Dave Meltzer is friends with Tony Khan and AEW. I don't get what that second one means. Like, it's never been a secret that Dave and Tony talk on the phone, message each other, have actual friendly conversations about the business, this and that. So that's never been a secret. As far as his other questions, so I do want to apologize for the lack of news put out today, whether that's on the website or videos here on YouTube. I was working on graphics for the Saturday Night's Main Event stuff, and I just got too OCD'd about it. And I would like create something and go, I like it, but I don't like it enough, and start over. And I did that 3 times until I finally got the graphics that I like. I literally changed WWE's logo a little bit and made it my own. Kept the structural integrity of what they have, and just kind of added an effect to it. But I finally got that, and then all of a sudden Raw started. So I'm like, fuck, I wasted the day. Kind of. Didn't. I got the graphics done, so that's good moving forward. But I didn't get a lot of news stuff done today, which means I got a late night tonight after this. But we did hear the Grand Slam stuff, so if anyone didn't hear, AEW Grand Slam in Australia is not selling really much at all. Like, ticket sales are almost non-existent. It's very similar when WWE was going to run Money in the Bank in the Allegiant Stadium, didn't sell enough tickets, and moved it to MGM Grand Garden Arena. The same thing. They're not selling enough tickets for the stadium. It's not going to look good on them if they try to run it with only a couple thousand tickets sold. Even Tony Khan said, we've sold thousands. Now, if he had sold tens of thousands, he would have said tens of thousands. But they didn't. They've sold a couple thousand. And so Fightful did put out a thing here. Wasn't fully a report. It was more like a, hey, this is what we're hearing might be happening. It was like a one-liner thing that they may have to move to a smaller building in Australia.
I saw someone on social media say, why don't AEW just move to smaller buildings like TNA does? Because TNA knows that they can't.
So if you look at the schedule they announced going forward, those 17 dates, half of those, if not a little more than half, are smaller buildings. Now, some places they want to go to, certain cities don't have the smaller building that will accommodate wrestling and a ring and stuff. But like, they're going to Phoenix, I want to say, smaller building, literally a theater. They're going to North and South Carolina in smaller buildings. They're going to Southern California in a smaller building, Oceanside. So that's a smaller building than normal. They are trying to get into smaller buildings. That is a thing. It's just the issue is their set and their lighting rig are too big for some of these smaller buildings they want to go to. Because if you think about it, they got this lighting rig that they got to hang from the ceiling. And some of these buildings can only hold X amount of weight to be, from the roof. And so if their lighting rig weighs, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number, 2,000 pounds, but their roof can only hold 800, 900, they can't even put their lighting setup in that building. So they'd have to figure out alternative means, and they are trying to work on different things and different setups for different types of buildings. They got lucky with the esports arena because that's already set up to host shows like this. They didn't have to take anything down. They didn't really have to set much up. The stage was already there. They used their stage. They used their lighting rig because it is a building used for esports events. So they took advantage of that, and all I had to do was bring in the ring, basically. So they are trying to run smaller buildings going forward. Not every week, but a good amount of weeks. Elite says, didn't AEW start with smaller buildings? No. They were running the 10,000 seat buildings from day one. One more from Esports Gaming Rules. It says, Tony Khan might need to sell AEW to WBD one day and WWD rebrand it. No. Tony's family's got so much money, it don't even matter. Plus, this next TV deal that starts January 1st is going to put them in a good spot where he's not going to have to worry, which is actually what screwed Vince. Once Vince was making so much money that they didn't have to worry, that's when Vince's booking went, because Vince was like, we got this network. They're paying us $10 a month. We can give them any shit we want, and it doesn't matter. Same with Peacock. It even got worse with Peacock because he was like, they're paying us billions of dollars to put content on Peacock, and we're going to make that money no matter what. Like, when they went to Peacock, pay-per-view numbers didn't matter anymore. It was just, you're going to make this much money over this amount of time. And it doesn't matter if you give them a shit product and 50 people watch, or you give them a great product and 100,000 people watch. You're going to get paid the same either way. And so, yeah, the Peacock deal really hurt WWE in a way because it allowed Vince to be a little more I always mess this word. Lackadaisical, however you say it. Lazy with the booking.
We're going to change everybody's name. Like, Walter, you're going to be Gunther. Pete Dunne, you're going to be Butch.
Humberto Carrillo, you're now just Berto.
Or, I'm trying to think of another one.
Well, remember, he just took everyone's last name away. Adrian Neville was just Neville. That's a first name. But Apollo Crews.
Antonio Cesaro.
Just Cesaro. I mean, Apollo Crews was just Apollo for a while.
Matt Riddle, just Riddle.
Yeah, that was weird. But, yeah, no, it's a whole thing. Well, did you know that he wanted to change AJ Styles' name when he came in? Very slightly.
What do you want to change it to? Just AJ?
No, he wanted to be Styles with a Z. AJ said, no, I will not do it. I mean, they were going to change freaking Adam Cole's name on the main roster.
I think that was a more Bruce Pritchard one.
Well, it was both, but yeah, Bruce was the one. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, just think about
I
that.
think Bruce was,
just think about
Bruce was the one.
Go for it.
I think Bruce is the one who kept saying, like, I don't think this guy can be a star because of his size, and Vince kind of listened to him.
Yeah, but think about it. You think Styles with a Z would have ever been WWE champion?
No.
You get that pop at the Royal Rumble, and you have Michael Cole. Oh my God, it's Styles! It's Styles! Instead of, that's AJ Styles!
Fans would be like, what in the world?
Yeah, no. They wanted to be Styles with a Z.
What if Kenny Omega signed with WWE and Vince changed his name?
To what?
Just
Omega?
It's Omega!
It's the Omega Man!
Oh, God, not the Omega Man.
I mean, that's his Twitter.
It's the Omega Man! The Omega Man is in the Royal Rumble!
You think the Young Bucks would have been the Young Bucks?
Well, they were like...
Here's the thing. I feel like with the Young Bucks, I don't think they would have had too much changed because Matt Jackson said they had multiple really good, positive, almost signed with conversations with Triple H. So I feel like the Young Bucks had to have thought that they're not going to change us too much. We're not going to, if we go there. Because Matt Jackson has said it. We had a couple conversations with Triple H on the phone to where I looked at my wife and I said, do we sign? Do we go there? Because they were that positive.
And then Tony Khan made them EVPs.
Basically. Said, you can come run this company with me.
Yeah, then Hangman. I don't know about Hangman. I think Hangman was once he heard they were gonna send him to NXT, he probably said no.
Well, no, I don't think he would have cared, especially that early on in his career. Apparently, what I was hearing in 2018 was that out of all of them, Hangman was the one Triple H wanted the most because he felt like that was the guy that he can build, mold, and make his next big guy. Like Triple H saw something in Hangman.
Basically like another Adam Cole.
Kinda. But he's got a bigger body and I don't want to say a better look. Hangman might, maybe a little bit. But like, if you go, Vince, I got these two guys, Adam Page, Adam Cole. Vince picks Adam Page every time over Adam Cole, unfortunately. Looks alone. Anyways, moving forward, we had a non-title match. It was Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. Match went 9 minutes and ended in a DQ, but those 9 minutes were good. I wish that these matches, the WWE's been doing this a lot. Long matches ending in DQ. Give us shorter matches and ending in DQ. But I get it. This one needed to go right up to the break, so they brawled through the break. So they kind of had to go the 9 minutes the way it was all laid out. Anyways. Hold on. Before I talk about this, I got to talk about Esports Gaming Rules' most ridiculous comment ever. Thanks for the bit donation, but he says, is Vince coming back to WWE because of Trump being U.S. president again? That's not how business works, bud. That's not how business works. Vince has no say over WWE. Nothing to do with WWE. And Vince, or Trump being president, also has no say over WWE. Nothing to do with WWE. That is, and I hope I don't offend you, one of the most ass-backwards questions and comments I've ever heard about this Vince thing. Vince is going to go back to WWE because Trump's president. The only thing that Trump being president can help Vince with is not going to jail with the federal case. He can pardon Vince if they impart federal charges onto Vince. That doesn't even stop the Janelle Grant lawsuit because that is a civil case. There's a big difference. Federal, civil. Federal, you can be pardoned by the president or whoever. Civil case, nope. President can't stop that one. And the president can't go to Ari Emanuel and say, put Vince back in charge of WWE. No. Ari Emanuel owns this company. He is the leader of TKO. And what he says goes. Vince has no say. Vince does have some stock still in the company. He's still got a lot of stock, but he's got no power. What are you laughing about?
I'll tell you off stream. I'll tell you. I just thought it was something funny.
Gotcha. Anyways, this match with Kaiser and Braun Breaker. Not the first time we've seen it, and it's always good. Braun was looking good early. But when he went to hit a running spear around the ring, Kaiser dodged it, and Braun crashed into the corner of the announce table. And I'm like, well, there you go. He's done it one too many times to the same guy. It's like the third or fourth time I've seen him try to do this to Kaiser. Eventually, they're going to learn their lesson and move out of the way.
Dude, Braun Breaker looked fast in this match.
You know what's crazy? Braun Breaker looks fast, right? And they always tout about how fast he runs the ropes. They've got a guy faster, right?
Who?
Nathan Frazier. Watch Nathan Frazier run.
That guy's speed.
Watch Nathan Frazier run the ropes. He ain't gonna hit nobody as hard as a Braun Breaker, but he gonna make somebody dizzy. Just
I've seen this guy do it in real life. That guy is fast.
Yeah. No, Nathan Frazier is scary fast. And Axiom's almost right up there with him too.
I wonder when those guys will get called up.
Teasing breaking them up first. I don't want it because I think they'd be a great main roster tag team. They'd fit in perfectly on SmackDown. But they've been teasing for like 2 months that they're going to break them up.
I just don't know how they would be used on the main roster, like as singles guys.
Right.
Axiom. I mean, I can see Triple H like at least trying to use him. But Nathan Frazier.
No, I see Frazier more than Axiom being used on the main roster, especially because Frazier's got that Seth Rollins connection.
He does, but I kind of want them to still be a tag team on the main roster. I don't know how.
So do I.
I don't know how they'd be used as singles guys. I'm kind of scared about that.
I think they're actually phenomenal together. Like they're a great tag team. One of the betters that we've seen. So of all the guys where it's like you got two guys in developmental and they put them together random, I think they're one of the better ones that they've had of late, like of the last couple of years. So Braun crashes in the announce table. We go to commercial break. When we come back, the crowd's actually chanting for Braun Breaker, and he hits a Frankensteiner. Going for a spear. Kaiser hits him with an enziguri. Kaiser then left the ring and was attacked by Sheamus. Braun then confronts Sheamus. Officials run down. They all start brawling and hemming and hawing and hooting and rolling. They're just doing all kinds of things and fighting each other. We go to a break. We come back from the break, and they got all three men separated, but they're all trying to break apart. And Adam Pearce is like, hey, enough is enough. You guys want to fight? You want to keep brawling? We can keep this fight going Saturday. Triple threat for the Intercontinental title at Survivor Series. Oh, he throws the microphone down. He's like, I'm over it. This match's going to be great. I can't wait to see these guys just beat the shit out of each other on Saturday. This is a sleeper match for sure. What'd you think of all this?
You think Braun actually loses?
I think Sheamus pins Kaiser. And we finally get Sheamus's IC title reign.
That would be cool. Then we get a Sheamus and Braun Breaker rivalry where Braun Breaker gets the belt back.
Eventually. I wouldn't do it too quickly because like they already did that, him getting the belt back quickly. So we'll see. But I think this match is gonna over deliver.
Actually, Joe, I think could happen. Let's say Sheamus wins the IC title, and then they start building up Braun Breaker, I guess, as like huge heel. Then at WrestleMania, we get Cody versus Braun Breaker for the belt.
I've fantasy booked that a couple times here over the last couple of months. I said, screw Braun in the IC title, have him win the Royal Rumble.
Give me Braun versus Cody, like 2 second-generation wrestlers.
That match would be really good, really, really good.
Do you think Braun would win?
No, Cody would win, but Braun would look phenomenal coming out of it, and he'd be now elevated to the top. And yeah, no, I would think it would actually benefit Braun to lose against Cody at a WrestleMania. Because then, he loses.
That exposure.
Gives him an exposure of a WrestleMania main event. He loses. He's now got to build himself back up. He's got the motivation. He's like, oh, I've been there. I need to get back there. And I want to get back there even better. Win next time. So, Esports Gaming Rule says, Conor McGregor was connected to a civil case in Ireland. And look what happened to his UFC career now. Well, that yes and no. And there's a whole lot going on with Conor. Conor literally could have fought at the Madison Square Garden show and didn't want to do it, basically. He could have had the Chandler match at Madison Square Garden and was just like, I'm hurt. I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, no. That's the whole thing. He should have fought Michael Chandler at the Madison Square Garden show. Also, Conor is going to appeal the whole case in Ireland. Yeah, that's a whole thing, too. I haven't followed it enough to really comment on it. But I do know that Conor kind of went on a rant on social media the other day, then deleted the rant and said, I'm appealing the court ruling. So we'll see. We'll see. We do know that there's a video game that he was associated with, I believe, that dumped him. Oh, I just heard it this morning. Hold on. There was something to do with like video games that he was just involved with, and they're like, we're no longer associating with Conor McGregor. Let me see what it is. Oh, that's what it was. IO Interactive. Conor McGregor was involved with Hitman. They're no longer working with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor his likeness was literally pulled from Hitman. So that sucks. Yeah, because he was in Hitman World of Assassination, and they pulled his likeness out of the game.
Interesting.
Yep. Because they said that, well, I'm not going to get into it, but basically he was not convicted because he didn't go to jail or anything, but basically said that he raped his baby mama. The courts ruled in favor of her. He said it's still all not true. It's all lies, and he's going to appeal. So, the one funny thing I forgot to mention about this Adam Pearce announcement. He announced this match. He goes, you guys want to keep fighting? You want to keep brawling? We can do a triple threat for the IC title. And the crowd pops. And he says, at Survivor Series. And they all went, oh. He thought they meant right now.
Yeah. Or like tonight's main event.
Yeah, no. He thought, we're getting this tonight? No. So then we got another video recapping the whole Bloodline stuff from SmackDown. And then we got some of the OG Bloodline backstage with Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly interviewed the Usos and Sami Zayn. Sammy, Jay, and Jimmy were all there with her. Zayn admitted they're shocked to see Paul Heyman come back. And even more shocked with the announcement of CM Punk. But hey, we're good with it. We're cool with it. And Sammy's like, the big question is, can we trust CM Punk? I think probably. And Jimmy goes, excuse me? Can we trust CM Punk? If the wise man tells us to trust CM Punk, there's no reason not to. If the wise man says so. It's like, Paul Heyman's not the wise man for nothing. He is wise in his knowledge, And if he tells you to do something, if he tells you not to do something, if he tells you to trust someone, not to trust someone, you take his word. So he called Punk a complicated guy, Sammy did. And anyone who has known him has a complicated history with him, including Roman Reigns. Punk and Reigns will have a sit-down talk this Friday to make sure they're on the same page for War Games. Jay cut a fiery promo here. He cut a fiery promo basically just saying, I'm going to beat Jacob Fatu, the werewolf, on Friday and get our team the advantage. Ain't happening. Jacob's winning. You know why Jacob's winning is because the babyfaces won for the other match, and they never do the same. If the babyfaces have the advantage in one War Games match, the heels have it in the other. Honestly, heels should just always have the advantage because it's weird. Babyfaces beating up a heel 2-on-1, 3-on-2. So, but yeah, pretty sure Jacob Fatu's beating Jay on Friday for the advantage. And
oh yeah, speaking of,
if you want to know the actual one last thing, if you want to know the actual result of that, I'm not going to give any spoilers here. We do have spoilers on the website, pwunlimited.co, or right here on YouTube. Go for it.
Oh yeah, speaking of Survivor Series, do you want to do the predictions after the Raw review?
I mean, how many matches do we have announced? I didn't even think about that because I think we have the full. Ooh, yeah, we should because I think we have the full card. We'll do it Wednesday after Dynamite.
Okay.
I don't have everything pulled up for it because I think we already know the full card based off of spoilers for Friday. No new matches were announced other than the 2 tonight new matches. So we'll do them on Wednesday. So then we could just, we'll do it Wednesday after the Dynamite review. Or because I don't have the card or anything. And moving forward though, we had a tag title match that went almost 10 minutes. It was the Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Finn Balor defending against the War Raiders. Man, did I want to see the War Raiders win this. But unfortunately, ESPN's number one in their 30 under 30 pro wrestlers screwed the War Raiders. Screwed the War Raiders. An old dirty Dom. ESPN said Dominic Mysterio is the number one pro wrestler under the age of 30. Better than Rhea Ripley. Better than MJF. Better than El Hijo del Vikingo. Dominic Mysterio.
Better than Jack Perry.
Yep. Dominic Mysterio is the number one 30 under 30.
Hang on. Did they have Tony Storm on that list?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Because I'm like, how old is she? Oh, she's 29.
Yeah, she's barely under 30. So number one, let's just go to the bottom. We'll read these really quickly. I could rattle these off real quickly. Number 30, Yuma Enzai from All Japan Pro Wrestling. Number 29, Dragon Lee from WWE. Number 28, Shun Skywalker from Dragon Gate. Number 27, Jamie Hayter from AEW. Down from last year where she was ranked 19th. Dragon Lee was ranked 17th last year, so he's down. Number 25, Utami Hayashishita from Marigold was not ranked last year. Gabe Kidd at number 24 from New Japan Pro Wrestling, not ranked last year. Yuma Oyagi from All Japan Pro Wrestling, number 23, not ranked last year. One big fall, Logan Paul at 22, who was ranked 10th last year. Wheeler Yuta down one spot. He was 20th last year. He's 21st this year. Roxanne Perez, who was not on the list last year, is now in number 20. She's going to be on this list for the next 7 years. Oscar Dorada 2.0 at number 19 with CMLL and AEW, not ranked last year. Tiffany Stratton, not ranked last year, is number 18. Hook, not ranked last year, is 25th. Age 25, 17th. Jordan Grace, who was 24th last year, is now 16th. Austin Theory was 3rd last year, now 15th. Holy crap. Chris Statlander was not ranked last year. She's number 14. El Hijo del Vikingo was 4th last year, down to 13th. Kato Kiyomiya was 21st last year. He's now up to 12th. He's with Noah in New Japan. Braun Breaker was 6th last year. He's down to 11th. Shota Umino was 30th last year. He's up to 10th. Probably all because he's got that Tokyo Dome main event on the 4th. Which I still don't think he should be in that match. Should be goddamn Yoda-Tsuji. Daniel Garcia was 29th last year, all the way up to 9. He jumped 20 spots. Kyle Fletcher, not ranked last year, is 8th. Jack Perry was 13th last year. He's now 7th. Konosuke Takeshita, 8th last year. He's now 6th. Mariah May, not ranked last year, is 5th. Rhea Ripley, who was last year's number 2, is 4th now. Toni Storm was 16th last year. She's now 3rd. MJF, last year's number 1, is now 2nd. And the number one pro wrestler under the age of 30. 5th last year. Number 1 this year. Oh, Dirty Dom Mysterio. You gotta love it. I'm a huge Dom Mysterio fan. I love Dirty Dom. ESPN call him the number 1 pro wrestler under the age of 30. Better than MJF. Better than Toni Storm. Better than Rhea Ripley.
They now have Dominic Mysterio toilet paper on WWE Shop.
Oh, they've had that for about a month now. And I saw some people go, why ain't Liv Morgan on the list? Because it's under 30. She is 30. So as far as this tag title matches go, we went to a break about a minute or so in. When we come back, the War Raiders were in control. Well, when we went to a break, they were in control. Come back, Judgment Day had control. Targeted Eric's previously injured neck, and McDonough gave him a neck breaker. Ivar eventually got the hot tag and ran wild on McDonough. They then hit McDonough with an assisted power slam, but Balor barely, and I mean barely, broke up the cover. Dom and Carlito then ran out and leaped up on the apron, but Eric and Ivar knocked them off. The referee just watched it all happen, but they never touched the War Raiders. War Raiders knocked them down, so yes, ref saw it, but they actually didn't really do anything other than jump up there, Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. It's when the wrestlers do things that should be a DQ and the ref doesn't call it. They didn't do anything to insinuate the DQ. The Raiders, though, hit McDonough with a War Machine, and Dom, with the ref not looking, put his foot up on the ropes. And then he's like, ref. And the ref had to stop the count because his foot was on the ropes to break the count. Ref, though, was like, did you do it? I think you did it. And he kicks Dom out. So I like that one. Dom wouldn't leave, though. The distraction of Dom not leaving actually distracted Eric. It distracted him long enough for Carlito, or for him to then go after Carlito, because Carlito then got involved. He knocks Carlito down over with a tackle. The ref is now distracted. Balor then jumps in and hits Ivar off the top, knocks Ivar off the top. He fell on the ropes. McDonough then cradled Ivar and pinned him. It was a whole schmoz at the end. I didn't like the last 3 minutes of this match, 2 minutes of this match. There's just too much going on. A little too much. It was a little overbooked at the end. What'd you think? Judgment Day retain.
I wanted the War Raiders to win, but honestly, I just want the tag belts off the Judgment Day. They've done nothing with those belts.
Here's the thing. Joe Tessitore said it. Judgment Day have had these tag titles for how long and defended them. This is the second time ever. and Wade Barrett goes, well, you know, Joe, what's the best way to have a long title reign? You never defend the titles. Finn Balor's been pretty, what did he call him? He said something like, I don't think he used the word shifty, but he's like, he's been very clever in getting around defending these belts and having a long title reign. And Joe's like, is that really what you want your legacy to be? Not defending your belt? Wade kind of just shut up from there. So then this show hit another level of greatness. Tell us, next week, we'll be getting the 10th anniversary celebration of the New Day. Big E was all over this video, hyping up the New Day and everything. Big E, Woods, Kofi, we assume they're all three going to be there next week. Woods and Kofi are in Gorilla. And Woods wanted to squash whatever beef they may have. Last couple of months, they've not been on the same page. And they need to get over that because it's not who they are and what they are. They love each other. They're family. They're brothers. And Kingston was proud of everything they've done together. Woods said next week would be the greatest night of our career. And Kingston was super excited and said, now, let's go show everybody why we're the best. Then they showed Vanessa Hutchins in the front row. So, match goes a minute and a half, maybe a minute and a half. And it's Otis and Tozawa, who they're still calling Alpha Academy, against Kingston and Woods. Despite seemingly making up earlier, New Day couldn't get on the same page. Woods wanted to start. Kofi wanted to start. Woods like, I'm calling this play. And Kofi's like, no, I'm not. You're not calling the play. And then couldn't even agree on who started the match. Kofi then eventually starts. Woods immediately tags himself in. Otis nails him with the back elbow. Tozawa hits him with the diving senton and pins him 1, 2, 3. As Kofi kind of just watches. And Woods is pissed. Kofi's like, what happened? And he's like, what do you mean what happened? You didn't even help. And they start bickering and going at it and everything. They walk out of the ring. They walk up the ramp and they're still yelling at each other. They're still bickering as they go through Gorilla. They go right out of the other exit of Gorilla and they stop. And then this just gets freaking phenomenal. They implode. Woods said that Kingston was wrestling like garbage. Kingston said that he's been trying to help Woods for weeks. I took my Intercontinental Championship match and gave it to you because I thought you could do it. But what'd you do? You fumbled it, just like you fumble everything else. There was a reason why me and E never let you call the shots while you did what we said. Because you're too reckless out there. You don't think. Woods said that Kingston was too gutless to take the shot. Only to get a world title match after I was here. To help you get it. Kingston became champion because of Woods. Kingston said, I was already a Hall of Famer before you even met me. That's why you wanted me in this group. You asked me to be here because you knew how good I was, not the other way around. He said there was a reason. Woods still hasn't won a singles championship. Woods has never been a world champion because he isn't good enough. Woods said that he is good enough. Good enough to fight for Kofi and take all Kofi's beatings. If I wasn't good enough, why did I do things for you and get you opportunities? I believed in you when the people believed in you and you didn't believe in yourself. We helped give you Kofi Mania. He's like, we handed that to you. And what did you do? You pissed it away in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar. Woo-hoo! Kingston then got really mad.
I did not expect them to say Brock Lesnar.
Nope. Kingston then got really mad. Kingston seemed ready to fight. He's like, if you were anybody else, and Kingston's like, if I was what? Huh? He's like, if you were anybody else, I'll knock you out right here. Right now. Kofi goes to walk away. He goes, I'll see you at the reunion, brother. Woods responds like, yeah, see you at the anniversary. And Kofi walks off. And Woods is just all kinds of pissed off. And this was phenomenal. I loved the crap out of this. We've been waiting. When is the New Day going to implode? And is it going to be good or is it just going to be meh? Oh no. As long as they keep this intensity up, whatever comes next is going to be some of the greatest shit we've seen in a long time. A long time. And I can't wait for next week. Next week is going to be awesome.
Wait, did you mention the part where Kofi said like I was already a Hall of Famer before
yes. He said,
okay.
Because as Wood said, you never got a chance at the world title before we came along and helped you get that. Kofi said, no, I was a world champion. And no, he said, I was a Hall of Famer before you even met me. And that's why you wanted me in this group, because I was so good. He's like, no, you didn't make me better. I made you better. You still couldn't live up to it or whatever. Yeah, no. I can't give us more praise. This was the best. One of the best, just back and forth, arguing segments I think I've ever seen.
I think will happen.
One last thing. And the reason I say it's probably the best I've ever seen is because we've seen these kind of things in the past where teammates implode and they argue and this and that. And they always seem just too scripted or too just weird. This felt real as anything you're going to see on a pro wrestling show. Go for it.
I think will happen next Monday.
Well, I mean,
like during the reunion.
He's got to be there, right?
Yes, dude. What's going to happen next Monday is they're going to have an argument. Then Big E's going to return to like calm everybody down. Then I think both of them will be fine.
Fine? No. I think Woods is going to knock out Kofi next week, and Big E's going to try and get involved, but like not want to get too involved because of his neck. And he's like, yeah. Or they've been keeping us in the dark so long. Maybe, and I don't know any of this, just spitballing. Maybe Woods or E is cleared. And next week, when Woods takes out Kofi, he gets conflicted and then just attacks Woods for attacking Kofi. And then we learn, oh yeah, Big E's cleared. I don't think so. I think we would learn about that and figure it and find out that beforehand, but it would be a great surprise to just further this amazing angle.
It would be, yeah.
But again, I think that would leak out and get out there if he was, because they'd be like, oh, like someone would have seen him training somewhere and they would know, and oh, he's been at the PC doing it. I think Big E getting cleared would not be it could be, but I don't know if it's going to be that great of a kept secret. Especially with the excitement it's going to have around it with how long he's been gone. But I can't give him more praise. It was that good. I can't give him more praise. Because then we go to a segment right after it that was just meh. Miz in the Final Testament. Miz, hey, Karrion, I saw the Wyatts. They're here. They're outside. He's like, did the Wyatts see you? And Miz is like, I don't know. He's like, well, let's go get them. Scarlett, for your safety, I think you should stay here in the back. And Miz is like, I'll stay here with her. And Karrion looks at him. He goes to walk off. And freaking Akam. I always get them mixed up. One of them grabs the Miz and like shoves him. He's like, come on with us. I thought that was funny. Then I got scared for a second because Scarlett then walks over to this mirror and the camera pans up next to her at an angle. I said, oh no. We're not going back to WCW. We're not doing Warrior and Hogan in the mirror. And then they literally just showed Nikki Cross in the mirror, but they didn't do the whole look back and she's not there kind of thing. It was just Scarlett looks up, she sees her in the mirror, and is like, and then we go to a break. I thought they were gonna do the goddamn thing from WCW. You know what I'm talking about? They're building up Hogan and Warrior at WCW, and Hogan looks in the mirror, and all of a sudden there's this reflection of the Ultimate Warrior, and it scares Hogan. Hogan's like, oh, and he like turns around, but Warrior's not there anymore. Warrior wasn't standing behind him. It was just his reflection in the mirror or whatever. And then they had a shitty ass match.
No, I do not remember that.
Millie says, I do a great Ace Ventura voice. I don't even know what Ace Ventura voice. Did I do an Ace
Karrion
Ventura?
Kross.
My Karrion Kross is an Ace Ventura? What?
I think they're saying that Karrion Kross can do like a really good Ace Ventura voice, which is true.
Jesse Ventura, different people. Ace Ventura is Jim Carrey. Jesse Ventura.
Ventura,
Karrion Kross literally sounds. It's crazy how well he can do a Jesse Ventura impression. So can Will Sasso. Will Sasso can do a great Jesse Ventura as well.
I think Chris Van Vliet had like Karrion Kross and Jesse Ventura on the same episode.
Because Jesse Ventura's son wanted it. Ventura's son wanted that. Apparently they tried to get it before on other things and it just didn't work out. But yeah, I can't do a Jesse Ventura. I mean, the closest I can do is like, we're down in the Baja and we're here in, I don't know. I can't do a Jesse Ventura. I've never really tried. Living in the Baja. I don't know. Anyways, Jesse Ventura most likely going to be involved with the Saturday Night's Main Event show. Not sure how though. So you get more of this though. After the break, Miz and Final Testament run into Pete Dunne. Dunne wondered if they've seen Truth. Miz said no, and then said, invited Dunne to beat up Truth on my behalf because he doesn't like Truth anymore. So they went back to their locker room and found Scarlett on the floor. Scarlett was out of it, and she attacked Cross, not knowing who he was, thinking somebody else was coming after her. Basically, paranoia ensued. He considered her, or consoled her, as she told him that Nikki was here. Camera then panned out to show everybody has something to lose, written on the mirror in red lipstick. So was Scarlett the next one to get kidnapped? I mean, if they were going to, I think they would have done it tonight, but I think it was like hey, don't leave your wife unattended because we can get at her at any time.
Maybe.
So then we got the weird announcement of the women's IC title. Like, we filmed this earlier, but we're going to show it to you now. I don't understand it, but I understand that they got a women's IC title, and they're going to start a tournament to crown the first champion next week on Monday Night Raw. No names given to us. So, Esports Gaming Rules with another bit donation says, The Rock return at Survivor Series or the first Raw on Netflix. What will be, his reaction on Punk and Heyman joining forces? I don't know what Rock's going to say or anything about that. I think they keep Rock off TV. I don't think they need Rock at Survivor Series. It's not needed. Keep him off till the first Raw, like as I said earlier.
Yeah, I'd say keep him off till the first Raw.
Yeah. With that, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can donate Twitch bits over on Twitch, or super chat, or a super sticker over on YouTube. And before we get into our main event here, we got to tell you that this podcast is brought to you by Aura Frames. So let's hear about them right here. Are you looking to capture and celebrate life's best moments? Meet Aura Frames, the must-have smart photo frame for every home. With its sleek design and crystal clear HD display, Aura Frames brings your favorite memories to life in stunning detail. Just connect your Aura Frame to Wi-Fi, and with the free Aura Frames app, you can instantly share photos and videos directly from your phone, no matter where you are in the world. It's perfect for sharing those precious moments with family and friends. Aura Frames also comes with unlimited cloud storage, so you never have to worry about running out of space again. And with features like auto brightness adjustment and an interactive touch bar, viewing and managing your photos have never been easier. So what are you waiting for? Transform your home and keep your memories alive with Aura Frames. Visit the link in the description below or head over to pwunlimited.co/Aura Frames now to bring your best moments to life. Also, guys, just a heads up, Aura Frames is also running a Black Friday event right now. So you can go to their website, auraframes.com, auraframes.com/PWU, or use PWU at checkout to get $45 off your next Carver Aura Frame, your Aura Frames Carver Matte photo frame. So that's another deal as well. If you want to get $45 off, use code PWU at checkout.
Dang, that's a pretty good deal.
Right? Aura Frames are great. We got one in the house, and it's amazing. So as we move forward, Nia Jax met with Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, Morgan, and Rodriguez. They're all full of confidence, saying, hey, Nia's going to win tonight, and we're going to beat them because we got the advantage. Then we go into an 11-minute match with the War Games advantage on the line. Jax took control early on, ahead of a break, by chucking Belair into the barricade. Belair fought back, but Jax avoided a standing moonsault and hit a leg drop for a 2. Jax followed this up with a diving leg drop off the middle rope. With Jax standing on the middle rope, Belair literally, hell, Bianca's strong as shit. Literally grabs Nia, presses her up over her head, holds her there for a second, not just like grabs her and just throws her off the top. Grabs her over her head, presses her up, and then drops Nia down, hits a standing moonsault, and gets a near fall. Bianca's strong as hell. They say Bianca's probably one of, if not the strongest female they've got. Like, workout weights and all that kind of wise. He was always like leading the charges when they were doing the combines at the PC. Jax responds with a Samoan drop and then went to the middle rope for an annihilate her, but Belair brought her down with a German suplex. Jax ripped off the top turnbuckle cover in the process. Jax splashed Belair into the exposed buckle and gave her a Samoan drop on the announce table, which didn't break. Jax saw this. Jax saw that this wasn't enough for a count out, so she drove Belair into the steel steps. Jax then posed on the middle rope, was ready to celebrate, thinking she had it all won. And then Bayley comes out. Bayley knocks her off the ropes, trips her up. Bianca sees it and goes, whoa, Bayley, what are we doing here? She says, okay, takes the advantage, goes to the top, hits the 450, and pins Nia. The baby faces have the advantage for War Games. Bayley's at ringside smiling, looking up at Belair like, I helped you, girl. Bianca's looking back down like, okay, I see you. And then the show goes off the air. No, Elite, I never said Naomi's going to go heel, so don't put words in my mouth. Tim says Naomi might go heel. No, I didn't. When did I say Naomi might go heel? I said Bianca might go heel. Get your words straight, bub. What'd you think of this match and Bayley coming out to help?
I think Bianca might get a women's title shot here in the near future since she pinned Nia.
True. I can see that. What'd you think of the match and the baby face is actually having the advantage?
Match was decent. Bayley, I mean, I did kind of see like a few days ago that Bayley's probably going to be the final woman to replace Jade.
Yeah.
But baby faces, it's going to be interesting because it's always weird to see the baby faces like getting the advantage, but I guess you don't want to make it like every so often the heels always getting the advantage.
I get it, change it up a little bit, but it just makes more sense with the heels having the advantage. Anyways.
But maybe since the baby faces have the advantage, there's a better chance that the heels pick up the victory in the women's War Games match.
True. This is the 1 year where I'm like, I don't know who's actually going to win in both War Games matches. I could see it going either way. Also, if Bayley is, which we believe she is, the 5th member, Bayley keeps her streak alive. She's been in every main roster female War Games match.
Yep.
But with all of that, poll is now live on Twitch if you were voting there. Also, remember, go for it.
Also, for the men, I think Sami Zayn's the only male wrestler to be in every men's War Games match.
I can look that up. Well, main roster, right?
Yeah, main roster.
I can look it up real fast. Star Series War Games. Let me just go War Games matches. Why is this not showing me just a list of War Games matches? What I want. There we go. Let's see. Main roster WWE. Men. Sammy. Yep. This would be the 3rd one. Sammy's in all 3. You are correct, sir. Actually, Jay as well.
Jay Uso, yep.
Jay as well. So with that, let me refresh the polls. Also, remember, if you do follow us on Facebook, we now have a Facebook broadcast channel, which lets us be a little more interactive with you guys. And so we do have the polls there now because it's the only way you can do Facebook polls is in the broadcast channel. So let me ask her that. Refresh. Did it again. The community poll didn't post for some weird reason. We got the other ones, though. As far as the Facebook poll does go, it doesn't give me percentages. It just tells me which one's winning. Most people voted I liked it. A couple people voted it was all right. Nobody voted they disliked it on Facebook. As far as the threads poll does go, 50% liked the show, 44% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 79% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. And as far as the live poll does go, pretty similar. 79% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, 3% didn't like it. And finally, over on Twitch, everybody that voted liked the show. Jonathan Chuda says, Bayley's already in the match. WWE sent out a tweet at 8 p.m. as soon as Raw ended. Okay, see, I didn't see that because I was setting up this show. So let me double check on that. It's not like I don't believe you, but let me just double check. Double check like that. Double chunk chocolate cookie. Let's see. Where's the WWE Twitter account? Yes, Bayley is now on the graphic. It is Liv, Nia, Tiffany, Raquel, and Candice versus Bianca, Rhea, Bayley, Io, and Naomi. Bayley is the final member of the War Games match. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at PetGear_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
Do it, that, guys. Have a great rest of your night. We'll be back here on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite Thanksgiving Eve. It's the kickoff of the Continental Classics. So have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid really fast. We're going to send you to